Hello and welcome to the second channel for Tales from the Trip. I'm your host, Trip Keeper. And in today's video, we are going to be doing a pet peeves. Oh, I have so many of these fucking things, man. I cannot go around. I might as well go to the fucking Humane Society and adopt one of these fucking peeves because I already have a collection of 50 billion of them. No, not that much. But I wrote down a couple that I could think of this week. Every time I thought of one, I was like, I'm going to put this in this document. I'm lying about that. I actually wrote most of them down in one sitting, like for 5 minutes. But I added like one or two a day for the past couple days. And yeah. So this will definitely be a 2-part, 3-part video because, man, once I start thinking of more, I'll be adding to this list, and I think it'll be a fun video to do. See if you guys can compare yours to mine. Maybe we have the same pet peeves. I'm sure you will have some of mine, but there are sometimes, I'm very selective about what I put on here. And I'm in a good mood to start off this fucking video because my touchpad works on my laptop out of nowhere. It didn't work for fucking 3 weeks. And I bought a new USB touchpad and everything. It's really hard to edit videos with that or edit the audio. Video editing is easy for my channel, but the audio editing is what takes a fucking long time. Because you gotta take out the breaths and every time you mess up and it's horrible. But the video, you just put the audio and you put the visuals and you put the intro, outro, whatever the fuck, and you put that together. But now it's gonna be easier if it keeps working. I really don't know what happened. I thought I broke it from, I don't know. I thought maybe food particles got inside and I just didn't buy air duster because you know what? I'm gonna start huffing it, because it's gonna be an addiction that I want to have. You know what I'm saying? No. Okay. Let's actually get this thing started before I say way too much stuff and create a pet peeve for you. My pet peeve is actually when you take too long to start a fucking video, okay? Why don't you just read the fucking thing already, okay? I'm a new person here and I don't understand what a second channel means, okay? I didn't know that you can literally just say whatever the fuck you want on this channel. Do you have a main channel? That's the kind of shit I be getting. I got on my last thing, or my last anesthesia. There's one comment there if you guys know what I'm talking about. And I got a Rain body fuel. I haven't had one of these in like 4 months, 5 months. I've been drinking Gatorade Twitch, which is so much better. This stuff makes me jittery and maybe, I don't know. I'm not planning on, going to sleep early. Dude, last night I literally went to sleep at 7:30. I shit you fucking not. I walked outside delivering mail. It was pouring rain like half the fucking day. That is the worst. I'd take a blizzard over that. I would take 100-degree heat all day, humidity, sweaty fucking balls, swamp ass. I'll take that over that. But pouring rain, there's nothing you can do. You're going to get wet. You can be fine in drizzle, light rain, even harder rain. But pouring, no. And it was 46 degrees outside and windy, and I'm by the lake. So, yeah, that puts into perspective how terrible it was. But anyways, I feel weird using this touchpad. I've been using it 3 weeks. I just stopped working one day, and I was like, well, that kind of sucks. All right, I got, let's get this fucking shit started. This is in no particular order. I just wrote these down. How many pages is this? 1.5, 1 3/4 pages. Something in my throat. All right. This first one is people who have no awareness or are a dumb fuck. So what I mean by this is that people who just say whatever is on their mind, not in the sense of like, I don't know, just, for creating content or something. Let's say what I'm saying right now, just starting with this ramble. But like people, if someone has like a problem that they're facing at work, or like there's a physical thing that's going on that's very noticeable, but you don't want to say anything because you don't want to like, make it seem like it's noticeable or anything. But then there's that one fucking asshole who's just like, what happened to your face? What's that on your face? This is what happened. I wrote this down because this happened a couple weeks ago. This guy I work with, he's an older gentleman. He's got skin cancer, and his face was all red, and he had to put stuff on it. And yeah, because and he was just telling us like, hey, wear protection, wear a hat all the time, man. That's what I do, because you're out in the sun all the time, so you gotta stay protected. But yeah, he apparently has pretty bad skin cancer, and I wasn't gonna ask him about it because I already knew. I already knew about that. And then there's one new guy that we got. He's probably in his 50s, maybe 40s or something. I really don't know. We're outside, taking a cigarette break. I don't smoke cigarettes. I just go outside with the people that do, so I can get fresh air. But then I breathe in the secondhand smoke, so I guess really not that fresh. But anyways, he was smoking, and then the guy with cancer came outside, and the guy was like, "Did you get burned?" Why would you even ask something like that? Like, you fucking idiot. And now I seriously, I've lost all respect for this person every time I see him. I just dread talking to him. And yeah, it's sad that you can ask something like that. And it's just like, even if that was the case, why would you even ask that? It just doesn't make sense. Like, keep it to your fucking self. But you're too stupid to realize that. So go fuck yourself. All right, this next one we got in here is people who can never be wrong. The amount of times you say something so stupid and you just can't accept that you're wrong. And I know it's hard. It's hard to say when you were wrong. It takes a lot of balls. It takes a lot of fucking balls to do this, but you got to do it, okay? You can't defend something for so long. And, there's got to be a point. I change my opinions a lot, okay? I'm not one that sticks on something for sure unless nothing, it keeps working for me and shit. But yeah, I just don't like people that can't admit when they're wrong. Like, they just got to be right all the time, and they'll argue with you forever about it. Like, dude, I really don't even care at this point. Fuck you. Maybe you are right. It goes to that point. But yeah, I don't like those people. Next, we got people who won't stop talking even though you're backing away and have fake laughed and nodded 80 times. Oh my God, this happens to me at work. It happens to me where I used to live when I was growing up with these people. Like, I don't know how these people don't take these social cues where I'm just like, yeah, okay, that's pretty funny. Yeah, all right. Yep, and I'm just backing away, it's a social cue to go, I'm done talking to you. We're done here. Most people know about this, but there's a certain amount of people that just won't shut up, and it's really annoying. And it's usually something I don't care about. And that's mostly what people who talk a lot do. They say nothing that really, it doesn't affect me or anything. And it just, there's really nothing interesting adding. It reminds me of people who are already attention seekers who take Adderall. And when you're on Adderall, you just everything seems interesting. I feel like that's what it's how these people act. Like, they just want to talk about every single detail. Like, it doesn't matter, dude. All right, hello, goodbye, fuck you. Let's have a good day. But yeah, I don't like those people. Just go away. I don't have time to talk to you for 30 minutes. All right, and we got people who are loud and voice their anger in front of everyone. For me, when I get mad, it's never usually around people. I rarely raise my voice at anybody, and if I do, we got a serious problem because I never do that, and you've really ticked me off. But people who just regularly do this, who want just always want to start arguments and stuff. It's like, dude, can you just take a fucking chill pill already? Like, no one wants to hear you fucking yell as I'm yelling right now. But that's not what I'm saying. Like, just, I don't know. These people want to be like, I don't know. I don't know how they're feeling because I'm not in their mind, but they probably had something wrong with them when they were growing up, like they got abused or something, which I feel bad for, you know, because if you're constantly, yelling at others, making others feel bad, you probably grew up bad, and if you didn't, well, then you're just a horrible person. But yeah, there's a lot of people like that, especially at work. I used to, at least. And they would just fucking scream at everything. Not scream, but like, just be mad at everything and say, fuck you, I just keep it to yourself, man. If you're angry, talk with the person, don't let everyone else know that you're angry, because it's just really cringy hearing people yell. I hate when people yell at me. Or no, well, people don't really yell at me, but but like hearing others yell at others, and just like, why are you guys fighting? Just calm the fuck down, okay? Um, like I said, these are no particular order, so they're not going to be, coincide with each other, but some of them do. This next one is old fuckers who hold up the line in the gas station to do the lottery. Like, sorry, you old bitch, you ain't gonna win. That's true. I wrote that all down. Um, yeah, dude. I really fucking hate it. This is why I don't like going to gas stations in the morning before work. That's why I pretty much order my energy drinks through Amazon Prime now, because I can just get it delivered to my door and I can have it for the morning. But if I happen to not, I usually just suffer without caffeine, and get through the day. But there's times where I really need it, where I'm not awake at all, and I need to go into the convenience store or gas station. I try to get in there, get out, buy a $3 energy drink can and walk out. But then there's this fucking old guy or old woman at the front of the line buying the pick 3, pick 4, Mega Millions, whatever the fuck they're doing. And they're sitting there like reading the numbers off. I want this, I want that. And then they buy scratch offs and they're scratching it off at the counter. And there's like 20 people behind you, and it's 7 o'clock in the morning. There's never supposed to be more than one person in line at 7 o'clock in the morning. And you're holding it all up because you're old and you think you have the world by the balls now, since you've suffered through this world. Well, let me tell you, you still have to live in this world like every human being. You can't just fucking do whatever you want because you're old. Okay? You're gonna fucking lose. Go fuck yourself. I hate those people. This next one is when I'm at a four-way intersection and the car that has the right of way tells me to go or doesn't go at all. That's why it's called the right of way. All right. If you people don't know, when you're at a four-way intersection and you get there at, let's say, at the same time as a person, all right? Now, if you're going and if the person is to the right of you, they go, okay? That's why it's called the right of way. But if they're looking at you and you're to the left of them, like, what are you even going to do in this situation? So there's a four-way intersection right where I deliver to. I always go through there. So honestly, I don't even pay attention to this rule, because I know these people who live in this city, they always let you go. So I just go. I don't even stop at the stop sign for like more than a second. I'm like, fuck you guys. I just go straight ahead, because I'm not going to play this fucking game where you're telling me to go, or I'm going to look at you to see if you go. Like, no. And it's just really annoying. So, I mean, I kind of have that under control, but before it was really annoying. Cause yeah, I don't know. I'm sure many people feel the same way. Like, you got there first, but no, trust me, you got there first, buddy boy. But if I clearly got there after you and you're letting me go, that pisses me off so much. I hate when people let me go when it's their turn. It's like such a stupid thing to get angry over, but it really does. It's like, dude, you got to follow the rules, okay? And same for when people let me go when there's no one, behind them. Like when I'm trying to cross the street, there's no one behind them. There's no traffic at all, but there's that one car and they're letting me go. It's like, dude, by the time you tell me to go cross the street and you to stop and me figure out what you're doing, you might as well just fucking drive right through and just let me cross right after you drive through. That's gonna be quicker. All right. I hate when people do that. I know what they're trying. They're trying to be nice, but it pisses me off. All right. This next one is. My touch. Oh wait, I'm not even using my touchpad. I was using the USB touchpad, and the fucking actual touchpad was on the fucking right side. So I was like using that on the laptop, and I was like, and this mouse wasn't moving. I'm like, fuck, it broke again. But I was just not even on the touchpad. Now I'm on it. All right. Now, I don't know how common this is for other people, but for me, this happens all the time. When I tell someone that something's going to happen, and if you don't do this, and da 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 da, no one takes my advice, and it kind of makes me feel worthless at times, or they don't even remember, and they don't even remember me telling them about it in the first place, and they act surprised when it happens. It's like, all right. My one coworker called me a witch this week because I predicted all these fucking sports games exactly the way they were going, and not just sports, but other things at work. Like I called this shit, and yeah, he called me a witch. He said they're gonna burn me at the stake. So I thought that was kind of funny. But when I tell, I have friends, my mom, whatever the fuck it is, I tell people advice. I'm like, do this, or else this is gonna happen, and they don't listen to me. I don't know what it is. They don't value my opinion, but every time I try to tell them something to do something that's going to affect them, like if you don't do this, you're going to be affected down the road, and they don't do it, it's like, dude, have I not told you this a billion times? I even told my one friend, and she knows. She knows that I'm right most 95% of the time, and she still doesn't listen to me. It doesn't make sense. I'm like, listen, I've told you plenty of things, and you don't want to do this. Trust me, it's going to end bad. And she's like, I know, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's like, well, fuck you. I gave you advice, so go fuck yourself. I hate that. Um, Next, we got cars going the same speed on the highway, so it's impossible to switch lanes. Dude, and it's especially worse when they're going like exactly the speed limit. It's like, I need to pass. All right, you guys are going way too fucking slow for me. Um, and then they're just like right next to each other in both of the lanes. It's like, where are you even supposed to go? You're stuck. So you're just sitting behind them like, oh, this is gonna take forever, even though it probably doesn't really affect how long it's gonna take to get there. But that makes me angry. Um, you know, I wouldn't say I have road rage or anything, but things like that do make me angry. But I try to keep it to myself. Next, we got recency bias. When something happens recently that's never really occurred before in the past, but they take it as that's what happens all the time. Dude, that's seriously, we are trapped inside our own minds, and we just go by what's happening daily. We don't value the past anymore. We go with what we have right now, and it's really annoying when people don't understand when something happens out of the blue. They think that's going to happen like all the time. It's like, no, dude, it's a once in a lifetime kind of thing. Not once in a lifetime, but once in a blue moon type of thing. And it's just really annoying when people think something's going to continue happening when it's never happened in the past. And yeah, it's that makes me mad. Mostly with sports, when a player has a bad game and they're like, "Oh, they suck." It's like, dude, they had a fucking bad game. Like with Brock Purdy this year when he had that 3-game skid. All right, he was the fucking last pick in the draft, and he played some great teams, teams that were on a roll. And he had 3 bad games. His first 3 bad games. I mean, I wouldn't even call them bad games. They just weren't good enough. But people wanted to take him out of the top 15, which he's not. He's definitely up there now, back again after last game. So I'm happy for him. But people wanted to say he was terrible after that. It's just like, shut the fuck up. I hate sports people, sports fans. The next one is about sports too. People who call others a casual sports fan for disagreeing with their dumbass take. If you guys don't know what being called a casual is, it means basically they're basically calling you someone that doesn't watch the sport a lot, and they're just seeing it like, you know, you know, just very vaguely. But that's totally not true. Most of the time, people use that as an argument, as because because you're disagreeing with them and they think your take is outrageous, but it's actually more logical than theirs. I just hate that. I don't know how many people listen to sports, but that's just how I feel about it. Like, basketball, football, that's where it's heavily prevalent in. All right, this next one is teenage fucktards who have that dumbass bussin' fam no cap hairstyle. Fuck yourself. Get that shit shaved off or do something else with it. You look like someone who dropped your fucking head in a pile of pubes and picked you back up and said, "Here you go. Here's your haircut. Let's throw you into fucking high school. You're definitely not going to be made fun of, and you're going to be in TikTok dances because you're a fucking little bitch." And they try to act so hard. But how am I supposed to take you seriously with a fucking pube-ass head like that? It just doesn't make sense to me. I hate it. Now, since I said TikTok, I forgot to write this one down. But, people who are like older than millennials or like in their mid-20s, like mid to late 20s that are doing TikTok dances, like, what are you doing with your life? Are you that fucking depraved? I hate I hate TikTok dances for everyone who does them, but it kind of makes sense for kids, teenagers to do it because that's when they're just very young and youthful. They just want to stay with the trends. But please do not get that hairstyle. But once you reach a certain age, I mean, you really shouldn't have TikTok to begin with. The only reason I have one is to gain, content growth, get people to watch my shit, but I don't even go on there. I literally just go on there to upload it and get that video downloaded so I can upload the reels to Instagram and Facebook too. But yeah, people who go on TikTok and scroll for a long time, like, man, that makes me mad. You're wasting your life, dude. You're literally wasting your life. I used to have a TikTok. I used to go on it a lot when I was like 19, 20, I'd say around there. And I would make some, but I never did a dance. Like, I never wanted to do that shit. That shit is so cringy to me. I hate TikTok dances. I seriously cannot stand them. They're so annoying. All right, this next one is funny because Ozzy just walked in, but people who hate cats. Listen, if you had a troubled past with cats, like when you grew up and you hated their litter boxes and you hated the way they would smell, even though you didn't take care of them, right? Um, I understand. All right. But people who seriously think dogs are way better than cats, you got something coming for you, buddy, because uh, cats are the most chillest fucking animals on the planet, unless it's 3 in the morning and they're running around chasing ghosts in your house. But other than that, they're chill. You just got to feed them and they're fun to cuddle with. They're so soft, especially my cat, Ozzy. I mean, he's the softest little fucking piece of shit on this planet Earth. And by piece of shit, I mean lovely little dude. And I think it's because I feed him wet food every day. I give him the seafood version of it. I really think that helps with his fur coat. So, yeah, he's really, really soft. But yeah, I don't know how people, other than those reasons I listed, I don't know how you can hate cats. Like, especially if you've never had one before. Like, dude, you need to have one. Trust me, your mind will change. I didn't realize how cool cats were until I started work at the post office and I started seeing them all over the place. And they would come right up to me and, rub up against me, start purring, roll over on their bellies, and I give them big pets. I'm like, I need to get one of these things. And then, of course, working as a mailman, dogs want to fucking kill you and they bark at you and they're really annoying. But I still like dogs. Don't get me wrong. But dogs have definitely plummeted for me as getting a pet. I would not want one now. Like I don't think I could take care of one because how often I work and how I'm not home. Cats, they could be at home, they'll be fine, but dogs, you leave them home, they'll rip up your couch, they'll shit on the floor, they'll puke everywhere. I'm not saying Ozzy has never puked or shit on the floor, but that's usually when I'm there and I can clean it up, but yeah, it's not as big of a mess. And dogs are just so energetic, and I don't like energetic people. So that's probably another reason why I wouldn't want one because they just jump all over you. I like the chill dogs, the ones that just sit there and don't even bark. Those are cool because they remind me of cats. But the ones that go jump all over you, even the nice dogs that jump over you, I can't take that. It's like really it kind of pains me to say that, but I really don't like them. But I still do like dogs. But they definitely I lost a little respect for them after I got my job. Um, this next one might get people mad because they'll probably disagree with this. But people who get mad at musicians from the '70s or whatever, saying that music today is terrible. All right, hear me out. So music today is mostly terrible. The problem with the music today is that you gotta go digging for good music. There's not like you can't just turn on the radio and hear something good. And the only time you're gonna turn on the radio and hear something good is from an older song. But the pop music nowadays, it just seems so horrible. Back even when I was a kid growing up, or even 8 years ago, on the radio was pretty good music. But I don't know what happened. But rap is definitely gone downhill. But like I said, there's still some good ones out there. You just gotta go digging. But I don't know. I don't know why people get so mad at musicians saying that music is terrible when they literally had so much talent back then, and they created music with no help but the talent of their fucking minds and limbs and whatever you want to say. So yeah, I think their opinion matters. I listen to them over anything. And this is especially prevalent with Anthony Fantano. He has some of the dumbest takes I think I've ever heard in my life. He's a big fan of rap music. I still like rap music. I listen to rap music sometimes, but I'm not a big fan of it. But it gets me hyped. Sometimes if I really want to listen to it. But um, I don't think it's the best genre of music. I think it's far from that. I think R&B is better. I like SZA. Now that's a musician nowadays that's really talented. I love SZA. She actually has, she's not just beautiful on the outside. Her voice is just so electric and it's so seducing, not seducing, seductive. You just fall into it, like you just want to sing along to him. And I'd love to go to one of her concerts. She is like my biggest female crush nowadays. She is beautiful, beautiful songs, and the lyrics are kind of crazy. With the especially with the most popular song she has on Spotify, "Kill Bill." I'm surprised that's her most famous song. You would think that would be one that would just be like, all right, this is one of an underrated song on the album, but it's the most famous one. But first time I heard her actually was I listened to "You Are" uh, on one of her albums. I don't know if it was her first one, but it was that pink colored one, and it was a song my friend was like a dancer, but he was one of those cool dancers that would just like move his limbs around, to the beat, like dubstep sometimes, but he played this song and danced to it, and it was pretty badass. And there's a song called Julian, and I like that song. I also like Control. That's a great album. SOS, that's a perfect album. I like all of her music mostly. I mean, there's some songs I don't like, but I mean, that's of course for every musician out there, some band, you're not gonna like every song. Except Led Zeppelin, they got the best discography of all time. Except The Crunge, I really don't like that song. I hate it. That's the only song I don't like by them. But yeah, SZA's my most I love her the most. She's my favorite musician in modern times, and I'm happy to say that. But yeah. But I'll listen to her. She's got a valued opinion. But other people, people who are just music critics and they don't appreciate music from back then can fuck off. I hate them. Um, this next one, I had to figure out where I was. People who hold on to grudges, like let it go. People make mistakes. I made mistakes. You've made mistakes. We've all made mistakes. That could go along with another one I forgot to say. People who cancel people for the stupidest shit. Um, Sometimes you gotta think. We all know as people that we have bad moods sometimes, and that can affect the way we talk, the way we think that day. You could just say the wrong thing and not mean it at all. You just were caught at the wrong time. And people will see you that way. They'll think that's you and you were actually trying to be mean to them, but you weren't. You were just in a bad mood and shit. And those people are going to hold on to that and hate you for something you said that you didn't really mean. Or if people were actually mean and they became nice and they try to fix themselves, but you still don't like them because you're just holding that grudge. It's like, stop being so petty, stop holding that grudge, just let it go. We only live once, twice sometimes. I don't know if we live twice, but we live once for sure. So don't let your hatred, unless they're a fucking racist or a fucking, I don't know, a really bad person. That's the only way. But someone you've known, someone you don't really care about. Like, there's no point in just hating someone. Just let it go. Um, this next one, I don't want to offend anybody, but people who are either super religious or super atheist. Now, I don't know how I feel about religion right now. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I do pray. Don't make fun of me. I do pray because I feel like there is a God out there. I don't know which one I'm talking to. I feel like it's 75% true that there is 25% I'm not. I would say I'm in between agnostic and just believing in God, the Christian God. Um, but I really can't tell you. And I hate people that are super religious that say that base their whole lives around this fucking religion, and everything has to revolve around that, and they have to base all their values off of it. You don't have to listen to this one book that was written how many fucking years ago, and then and it affects their daily life, and they get really annoying. But that goes for super atheist people who are really strong. They have strong opinions about how they know God doesn't exist. It's like, how the fuck do you know that God does not exist? Are you a fucking, time traveler? Did you go back before the Big Bang, if that even fucking existed, and saw what created you? I don't think so. I don't know how these people are super confident in what they believe. Like, super religious people have a lot of faith. They think it's true, which we don't know if it is. And people who are super atheists are known as logical, quote unquote. And they think without all, they believe in science so wholeheartedly, which I do too, but you gotta, put other factors into it. And they just say that there's no proof. Of course, there's no fucking proof. Or there's not going to be. There's no proof that you even exist, bro. Like, dude, I hate people. I don't know which one I hate more. I'd have to say the super atheist ones, just because they think they know more than people when you really don't know shit. All right, you don't know if a God exists or he doesn't. So you're not an atheist, but you are, because you're really confident in that. Just be agnostic, man. Just be open with opinions. And I get these super religious people can be really annoying sometimes, and they are worse than these super atheist people. But you know, let them believe what they want. Just when you bring me into it and you try to change my opinion, that's when I start hating you. Not hating you, but just like want you to shut the fuck up. I don't like either of these people. I like the people who are content. I go to church every holiday. I pray, and then the atheist people, like, there could be a God, but I really don't think there is. That's the kind of people I like. I like when people are like that. And that's basically me. I'm caught in the middle of that. Like, I can't remember the last time I went to church, but like I said, I do pray every day, I will say. That rhymed, bitch. Hey. um, the reason I do is because I've had a lot of coincidences in my life where I said, if I don't do something, this will happen. And it happened. And I'm like, oh shit. And yeah, it was crazy. So that's why I tend to believe that there is something out there. So I'm not basing it off of any facts or anything, just basing it off of what I believe. But I'm not going to try to convince you that God exists. And I'm not going to try to tell you that God doesn't exist. I'm not one of those people. And if you are, you can go fuck yourself. Um, all right, next we got, this is a good long video. You guys on Spotify are gonna love this one. We got picky eaters and people who say something is gross when they haven't even tried it before. Like, dude, how could you say frog legs are gross when you haven't even eaten them? Like, you've never tried them? Are you fucking kidding me? You think they're gross because they live in swamps and ponds and shit, and they're all slimy? Dude, it tastes better than chicken. If you guys have tasted frog legs before and you enjoy it, you guys know what I'm talking about. You guys love frog legs. But people who haven't and they're disgusted to try it, you disgust me. All right, you won't. I literally, when I went to South Carolina, the first time I ever tried frog legs, it was at this buffet. So it was crazy at a buffet. I like this. I tried it, and I'm like, oh shit, this is really good. And the second round, when I got food, I got just a fucking gigantic plate of them, because there's not a lot of meat in there. Like, they're like small drums or flats, basically what you can eat in there. They're even smaller than that. So you got to get a lot of them. And the people I was with, the parents and my friend at the time, they were giving me disgusted looks. I'm like, well, fuck you then. This is delicious. I don't know how you wouldn't think this is delicious. I'm telling you, I don't care where something comes from. Do you not realize when you eat crab legs and lobsters, they're literally bottom feeders and shit, and they're at the bottom of the ocean with dirty ass fucking shit, and you eat that, which I enjoy too. I love seafood. That's my favorite type of food. But it's just strange to me how people are so they can eat something like that, but like something like a frog they won't eat, or like an alligator sausage. Oh, alligator sausage is really good. I'll tell you. Really, really good. I haven't tried shark yet. I don't want to eat shark fin soup because the reason they do shark fin soup, they just cut off their fin at the top and they drop them back in the ocean and they die. It's like, well, if you're gonna kill the shark, you might as well kill the whole thing, put it out of its misery before you release it back into the ocean and it's just gonna fall to the ground. Like just for shark fin soup that adds like nothing, just you're eating shark fin soup. It's like, come on. I'd like to try snake too. There's a lot of stuff I'd like to try. Back when I was a kid, I really wouldn't eat anything. I was mostly a chicken nugget, chicken tender kind of kid. But once I reached a certain age, I started eating a lot of stuff. And yeah, I just can't stand people who don't want to eat something because they think it's gross. Like people who don't like sauerkraut. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm Polish, part Polish, so I grew up on that stuff. But it does have a funky smell to it, but it is good for you. It cleans your gut out and tastes really good. And it goes perfectly with fucking bratwurst and yeah, it's great. Sausage, it's a great food. But people who are disgusted by that, I mean, if you tried the foods and you didn't like it, I'm okay with that. I'm fine. But like, if you haven't tried it and you said it's gross, like, how could you say it's gross if you never had it before? Go fuck yourself. Um, all right, next we got patchy beards. Dude, if you got a patchy beard, no offense, you gotta shave it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Um, I was lucky to be born with a nice beard. I've had this one for 2 years. I mean, I've had my beard basically for a long time now, but I shaved it 2 years ago and I let it grow back after. I had to go somewhere nice, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna shave it, and it grows back really fast. But yeah, yeah. Next, we got people who comment that addicts did it to themselves. Seriously, I cannot fucking stand getting those comments. They don't feel bad for people who got addicted to some sort of drug. Like, you don't know what their history was. You don't know what kind of peer pressure they had to do something. The kind of friend groups people have when they're growing up. That could be, people who are addicts themselves, and you know, they get people interested in trying it, or even, starting off with weed. I'm not going to lie. I do think weed is some sort of gateway drug. It doesn't mean it's going to lead you to something else, but I feel like it's a start for sure. I don't think anyone who's done fentanyl or heroin didn't try weed first. If you tried heroin first, well, that's a little crazy. But yeah, usually one drug leads to another, and yeah, blah 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 blah. You know, but people who comment that are just so mean, and they just don't care about people. But yeah, I guess I just feel for everyone. I feel like I've been in everyone's position. That's why I can care for all these people. But people like that just piss me off. It's like, dude, you don't know where the hell they came from. You don't know why they're even addicted in the first place. Like, yeah, okay, they're doing it to themselves, but don't you think they want to stop? Like, you think you really think these people want to continue being addicted? Now, there is some people out there, are some addicts out there who are actually like fucking assholes, and I've come across them on my YouTube channel saying that, a certain drug doesn't do that. Like, especially with meth heads, like they defend the drug like crazy. Like, dude, meth would never do that. You just can't handle it. It's like, shut the hell up. All right, that kind of pisses me off when people say that. But like people who are trying to get out of addiction and they're clearly struggling, and they want to be done with it and they just can't. It's just really hard. It's really hard to get past that. It's a disease. It's not something you can just stop out of nowhere and be fine. Like, you gotta really really stick to it, and you gotta really commit to it for the rest of your life, because you mess up one time, even 3 years after you stop, you're gonna go right back into it. So yeah, it's really hard. So fuck all those people who don't care about addicts like that. It really makes me angry. Um, you hear my nose? When people, all right. So this next one comes off as kind of a compliment, but let me explain. When people comment and tell me I need to upload more videos, right now the only reason I'm doing this is because I'm off the next 2 days and I need to upload a second channel video. Um, but yeah, I work a full time job. If you guys didn't know that, I already explained I was a mail carrier. Um, yeah. So this week in particular, I work I worked 6 days in a row this week because I just had a long weekend last week where I was off Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I was off Thursday too because if your day off lands on a holiday that we're already off, you get another day off added onto that because everyone else is off that day, so you get an extra one. I don't know if that's why, but that's why I think it's why. But yeah, so basically the schedule for the post office is that if you're off one day, like let's say I'm off Monday this next week, this upcoming week, so the week after that I'll be off Tuesday, and the week after that I'll be off Wednesday, and you get what I'm saying, Thursday the week after that, and I'll be off Friday, Saturday, Sunday after that. I'm off every Sunday, but at first, you're not. When you're a CCA, you don't start off. You're not off Sundays. You work basically every day, at least when I did. But now they give them days off. There was one period of time where I worked 16 days in a row, and I felt like I was going to kill myself. So if I could do that, I could fucking make videos and work at the post office. But that was probably the worst time of my life. But yeah, when people say I need to upload more, and I'm already uploading 2 to 3 times a week, it's like, dude, I seriously can't. Like, my mental health cannot take it with that. Like, I literally work. I get up at 5:30 in the morning every day. Some people get up earlier than that, but for me, I don't like doing that. And I go to work at 7:30, and I work till 4. 95% of the time, unless we're short staffed and we got to do overtime. But other than that, yeah. And then you know, if I work a long week like I did this week, um, I don't have time on my days off to make a video, so I had to do it after work with the Trasdown video. I did that after work. I recorded 2 stories, and I had Just Interrogation. Shout out to him. Add a story. I wasn't originally gonna do that because it was already a pretty good length video, but I was like, "Fuck it, let's get someone else in here." Um, so I recorded that and edited it the next day because I was so tired after work. So I couldn't have time to edit, and it was on a Thursday. Thursday's not a good day to upload anything because for some reason it doesn't get enough views. And Friday, it's working out well. It's a 4 out of 10 right now. So yeah, I like uploading Fridays, Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. Usually the best days. Saturdays are iffy. They could either be hit or miss, but Thursdays are the worst. But yeah. So when people tell me to upload more, oh my god, it makes me so like I feel so terrible because I'm already doing the most I can, and then they want more. I'm like, oh god, yeah, I can't take it. It's like, dude, I'm doing this on my days off after work. I seriously never. I I'm usually always working on my video, whether that's researching stories or just working on it plainly. But I've only had probably maybe a week at most this year that I didn't even, didn't work on the channel at all or think of any ideas. Like seriously, that's what I did, and yeah, it's hard to control to keep these two rolling together with my job and the YouTube. It's like it's really hard to keep up with, but I do it because it's fun and it makes me feel like I'm doing something important. So yeah, that's why I do it. But I'm uploading as much as I can, so I'm not gonna upload more. I'd have to quit my job for that, which I can't do because YouTube is not guaranteed. So yeah. Next one is when people say the story is fake. Every video someone says that, it's like, oh my god, I'm not gonna read a story that I think is fake and upload it and work my ass off on to get out to have someone comment that it's fake because you haven't experienced something similar to that. It's like, dude, fuck off. I hate those people so much. They're like one of the worst commenters ever because it happens on every single video, and I'm just sitting there just like reading it, and it's just so annoying. It's like, all right, so if this video is fake, and another person commented that my last video is fake, and then the one before another person commented that video is fake, so you're saying that every video is fake? Is that what you guys are saying? So please don't comment that. That really makes me angry because yeah, I'm not. If I think a story is fake, I'm not gonna read it. You can usually tell when something is. Unless you're a really good writer and you can get past that, which maybe I have uploaded fake stories. I really don't know, but I think 98% of the time they're real. So yeah. Um, this next one is when people ask what the intro song is or where they can upload a trip report in the comment section. And all that information is in the description box, and it's been there for a while now, and I've said it in many videos. I said on my Instagram, and when people ask me on Instagram, how do I submit a story, I already have that just already fucking automatic. I just wrote, if someone asks this question, just send them that link, and yeah, that's what they do. And I have it on there already on the little highlights section of Instagram, how to submit a story. And people still ask. It's like, dude, it's just take 1 second to look at the description box. It's right there. I can't take it anymore. It's like, it's fucking, I put that in there to help you guys out so I won't get these questions anymore. But, people don't want to look. People want to be lazy, I guess, and not look for it, not take 5 seconds. If you can't find it looking all over the place, then you can ask. But it's there and it's everywhere. So, yeah. This next one, kind of I already mentioned before, but when the addict for the drug video I am covering defends the drug, like the meth head I was saying, and says I'm spreading misinformation because that doesn't happen to them. Yeah, this is probably the worst one, where people just can't think that what's happening on that drug to these certain people can't happen because it doesn't happen to them. It's like, dude, do you not realize how complex our fucking brains are, and how, like, just any type of drug, any type of mind altering substance affects us? It's all different. It's all different. Like, just because you have a good time, you've never had troubles with it before, doesn't mean someone who's never done it or starts doing it and just out of the blue has a terrible time on it and it's affected them for a long time. It's like, how do you can't say that that's not true, or I'm spreading misinformation, because it's just, it happens to people, all right? You just got to accept that, but you can't get your head out of your fucking ass to even realize that. So, yeah. Oh, we got a couple more. And I labeled this section customers. There are 3 more. Now these will be for mail carriers. If you're a mail carrier, you'll understand this, but if you're not, you'll probably still understand this. When they hand me back a letter that doesn't have their name on it, but it says or current resident, so it is theirs. So let's say your name is John Smith, and you get a letter for Alex PP, but it says or current resident after that. That's, if you live there and you're receiving mail, you are the current resident. They have stamps you could look for it. Not like stamps, like actual postage stamps, but like stamps that you get on your hand and shit, and paper. I want to buy one, and there's one that says you are the current resident. Because I get a lot of this. It probably happens a couple times a week where they give it. Maybe not that often anymore, but there's some weeks it happens more often than others. But it's at least once a week. There's a piece of mail sticking out of a box that says, this isn't mine. And it says, or current resident on it. So I have to circle that and say, this is yours. And sometimes I get really petty about it. Because even if it's not yours, it's still junk mail most of the time. So just fucking throw it away. Like, I don't give a fuck. But yeah, it makes me angry seeing that shit, because people can't realize that. And it's especially bad when people put that kind of mail in the collection boxes. That's for outgoing mail. It's not for any mail you received that wasn't yours. Like, do not put that shit in there. That's just for outgoing mail and packages. Don't put anything else in there. It's really annoying, because you gotta. That's just what for the outgoing mail, because there's special people that pick it up just for that. All right, and you can't put whatever you want in there. You can't put misdelivered mail in there. Sometimes we misdeliver mail in accident. It happens. You can't just put it in a collection box for that. But if or current resident, you are the current resident, so it's yours. So don't have this fucking argument with me. Don't say it's not mine, because it is yours. Next one is when customers say stay cool or stay warm when it's either really fucking hot or really fucking cold. Do you really think your comment is gonna make the weather change so that I could stay cool or stay fucking warm? It's like, dude, it's 90 degrees out here. My ass is fucking coming off of my body, and you're telling me to stay cool? Thanks a lot, all right? It's going to help out a lot. Now I'll be cool after that, since you said that. Definitely not going to be still sweating out here with fucking swamp ass and suffering. I just hate it. Really, we always talk about this other mail carriers. Everyone gets it. It's like the worst thing you could say to a carrier. It's like, dude, you are literally making the situation so much worse just by saying that. Like, I'm in my nice air conditioned house while it's hot out there. Stay cool. Like, shut the fuck up. I hate when customers say that. Um, all right, this and then or when it's raining and they say stay dry, it's like, okay, I'll stay dry when it's fucking raining outside. Go fuck yourself. All right, this last one we got, another customer one, is when they ask where the regular mail carrier is or if they quit or if they're on vacation because they had an off day. Dude, the amount of times I get asked where the regular carrier is when it's their fucking off day, like, oh, they're taking off again. They're off. Why are they off? It's like, do you not realize that mail carriers get off days? We work every day, but it doesn't mean the same person works every day. They work most of the time every day, but they have off days. They have special off days. Okay, and I'm not your new carrier if I'm just doing it the one day. They're like, oh, did they go on vacation or did they quit? They were literally here yesterday. They were fucking here yesterday, and you're asking me if they're on vacation or they quit. Like, dude, are you fucking slow? Which I do think they are. A little. These customers out here can be very slow because they all say all this stupid shit. But yeah, that makes me angry. Um, but yeah, that's my last pet peeve for the video. I thought that was pretty fun. I'm definitely gonna do part two because there's a lot of things I could be mad about. But since I kind of vented that, I feel better about it. And maybe I won't be as mad about it now. But some make me more angrier than others. But yeah, let me know if you guys had any similarities to it. I feel like we get angry about the little things, but you really don't want to be angry about this stuff because life is too short with stuff, and you just gotta take it day by day. But if you're on edge, you're in a bad mood, and something like this happens, then it's gonna really affect you. But if you're in a good mood, most of the time this stuff won't make you mad. But yeah, wake up on the wrong side of the bed, it's just downhill from there right when you wake up. But yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and goodbye.